Hello, Troy White here with Hoodoo Financial, and today we're talking more on the subject matter of I told you so. I'm just basically letting you know what time it is. And today we're talking about what time is it? It's time for you to build investment portfolios. And so you may see me looking at my notes. I made some notes to follow today. But fundamentally, um, it's time for you to build investment portfolios, which already assumes that you are investing. An investment portfolio is a grouping of investments that combine to create a picture. And that picture is one that matches you. The picture is you. It's your future. So that investment portfolio should be designed to fund the future that you're expecting, because whatever you're expecting, there's a price tag attached to it, and that's the purpose of investing in the first place, is so that you will drop little bits now, so that you will have a lot later. All right, so fundamentally, uh, uh, an investment portfolio is about more than just buying stock. Many people who have uh, become more financially literate and understand investing. Maybe they've taken a class online. Most often, this is what I find, is people hunt for information online, and they find some good information, and they go about opening an account with one of the digital platforms, and then they buy a stock, maybe they buy another stock and then another. But you quickly realize that you can't think up enough companies to invest, and then you wonder, how do I analyze whether this is good or bad? And for the most part, people are not analyzing whether this is good or bad. And when I say good or bad, it means as it relates to your personal financial circumstances. So you tend to, think of the major corporations that you know. Say, okay, I'll buy some Amazon, I'll buy some Nike, some Starbucks, and Apple and Microsoft. And then you go maybe a few steps past that, people give up. So their portfolio ends de facto. So the result is your portfolio ends up being those few stocks you just randomly purchased because you learned how to purchase stock. You learn what a stock is, and so you bought some. And those are all positive moves. However, now that you've opened a window to and seen the investment world, now it's time to build a realistic investment portfolio. And let's narrow it down a little bit more. Let's say it's time for you to build a stock market portfolio of assets, and a portfolio of stock market assets. So we're still talking about investing in the stock market, buying stock, but you can't haphazardly, or you should not haphazardly buy random stocks. And when you do that, what you're doing is you're buying it with whatever you have available. So you say, I heard Logitech is a great stock to buy. I'm just saying this hypothetically. So your friend tells you this. And so you look in your bank account, you say, okay, I got $500. You go, you buy $500 worth of Logitech. Nothing happens next month, there's no investment. The following month, there's no investment. The following month, there's no investment, and so on and so on and so on. And then you get another stock tip. You hear, Apple's coming out with a new product, and it's time, it's a hot stock. So then, Apple is $700 a share. You just happen to have, $1,500 or something, and you invested that into the Apple stock, got you a couple shares. And you do this over and over. This is random. This is worse than a random walk. random walk being is a reference to there's no beating the market. There's no there's you know you can try to outdo the market, but you cannot. And the reason is that you cannot. When I say outdo the market is judged by an index like the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, and there are others. And so individuals like myself who are portfolio managers, our goal theoretically, this is not how our firm operates, but theoretically, our goal is to look at every company out there and do an analysis. And based on that analysis, I'm supposed to find the diamond in the rough and then tell my clients, hey, let's all get on board on this stock because they're undervalued. Well, the reality is that the stock market is on a random walk. All that analysis is often irrelevant because there are emotions that impact the stock market. And there are emotional factors and political factors, very many risk factors that impact a particular company, and that may impact that particular company's stock, which may trigger emotions based on that whole sector, which when people see stock prices going down, they jump in and follow and push it down further, and vice versa. They see it going up, they push it up further. So what are we to do then? So you may say, well, Troy, well, why? If you're telling me that, then you're saying that it makes no difference what I'm invested in, that it's random, so it's just random roll of the dice? No, it's not. Although it's a random walk, in the long term, it is, for long-term investors, you can always come out better because the information in the market is always going to prevail. Information in the marketplace, in the society, is always going to prevail. So that short gain or loss based on some weak information, a weak rumor, that will cause volatility in the short run. But in the long run, the success or failure of this company is dependent on their performance. So if you are a long-term investor, you don't so much care about that short-term volatility. All right, I'm maybe starting to lose you now, but that somewhat characterizes investing. It requires me to dig deeper and talk about concepts, and those concepts are economics. And if you enjoy, most people didn't like economics. I did. Economics 1 and 2 was, I think, mandatory in college, or maybe even in high school. But the concepts are very simple. It's just that when basically there's a cause and effect. When an action causes a reaction, and that's what happens in the market. So when you consider that, then we don't want to put, or I don't want to put my clients at risk of a random walk. You may randomly walk the wrong direction into the wrong path off the cliff. So what we do is we specialize in long-term investing. I mean, there are some tactics for short-term as well, but I'm speaking primarily for long-term investing. And so what you should do is build investment portfolios that are based on your financial planning needs. What does that mean? Okay, a financial plan is basically identifies where you are right now, what are the goals that you're trying to achieve, and then devises a strategy to get there. And then you take action by investing in a portfolio to achieve those various goals that you identify for yourself. So like I mentioned, and A financial plan consists of multiple goals. So the goals that you have uh, exist along a time horizon. So you may have goals that you need to achieve in 2 years, some in 10 years, some in 20, some in 30, some in 40. We still need to achieve them. So planning now is how we achieve those goals. So each of those goals require a different strategy of investing. Therefore, we're going to have a portfolio to match each of those goals. And there's going to be a different strategy of investing into each of those portfolios. Not of investing, but a different strategy in terms of the investment selections. Because any particular investment is better or worse depending on your goal. So if this is a goal, if this is a long-term goal, we have more risk because we have a longer time horizon. We can take on more risk because we have a longer time horizon. If we can take on more risk, we have the potential for more reward. And so that's for the longest term, and then the shortest of term goal that you may have, we have less ability to take on risk. So we can risk less. So we are almost guaranteed to receive less return because we can take less risk. So then along that whole spectrum of that time, that's the short term to the long term, is a whole spectrum of risk reward trade-off. And that's the heavy lifting right there. Is identifying your goals, laying them out on a time horizon, identifying where are you starting from, and then we devise a strategy on how to get you to those goals. And that strategy may consist of some information that you didn't want to hear. That information may be, okay, you told me you only got $200 a month to invest, but here are all your goals. And on this time horizon, and with your risk tolerance and the risk of tolerance associated with these goals, you cannot achieve them only investing that $200, $300 a month. You must do exactly $741.33 per month. That's the type of detail that we're going to get to. And we're going to divide whatever that amount is, we're going to divide that amount amongst the various account types, because some of those goals, all of those goals have tax consequences, and we must think about that ahead of time. So you're going to need tax-free accounts, tax-deferred accounts, and regular taxable accounts to achieve all of those goals. So, portfolio building and financial planning are, two peas in a pod. They go together. It's part of the game. It's part of the analysis. It's a part of achieving your goals. So anyway, a little bit more. Portfolios, I mentioned, are matched to your goals, but how are we going to build your portfolio instead of, like I mentioned, it's not about stock picking. Stock picking actually costs you more. The way we're going to build a portfolio for you is we're going to use fractional shares. We're going to use, at least on our platform. And on our platform, we have commission-free trades for your portfolio investing. We're going to dollar cost average. That's a strategy, a method of investing and financial planning. So using these tools together is the way you really build a solid investment portfolio. Those tools are, first off, dollar cost averaging. So dollar cost averaging means like I mentioned that a moment ago, a person has $200 a month and that's it. That's all they have available. Okay, so we're gonna pick the best strategy that we can with that $200 a month. And what we're gonna do is invest that $200 every month on one specific day per month forever. So this is not what we're going to do this year, not the next 2 years, not the next 3, 4, 5. This is it. The only thing not the only thing, but my preference is that we continuously raise that 200 up. As your income increases, as we decrease expenses, then we should increase the amount of your monthly investment. And we are dollar cost averaging that. Because what that's going to do, I mentioned short-term volatility, dollar cost averaging takes advantage of that and gives us the best average price over that time. Remember, you have a short-term, mid-term, and long-term time horizon to achieve your goals. So we want to get the best average price in all of the investing that you're doing over that time horizon. Dollar cost averaging does that for us. Now, even when we dollar cost averaging, it should be according to a plan to achieve your specific goals. And then once we have that plan, that dollar amount, we're going to, at our firm, using commission-free trading and fractional shares, invest into a completely customized portfolio of stocks designed to achieve that goal that you identified for yourself. So that portfolio may consist of, let's just say 30 stocks right now. Just say on the time horizon, you have 5 goals. This first goal is in 5 years. Let's say we pick a portfolio of stocks that fit your criteria, and there are 30 stocks in there. That means every month when you're dollar cost averaging, your automated investing goes into your account, a certain amount is going to go into that portfolio. Those 30 stocks are going to be purchased by you. When you say, well, I only have $200, how am I going to purchase all 30 of those stocks? Because we're going to do that using fractional shares. We're going to buy a fraction of that entire portfolio. What fraction? We will already have identified the percentages of your portfolio that each one of those stocks consist of. So when you put $1, that $1 is going in a fraction of that portfolio. So you put $100, fraction, 1,000, a fraction. That's how we evenly purchase and grow your portfolio. Your whole portfolio goes like that, not just one stock that you bought and then you wait 6 months more and buy some more and then buy some more. No. And then now you're under diversified. You just got one stock. And even if you did that 5 times, that's not enough. So we're going to build your portfolio the fast and efficient and the cheapest way. If you find a better way, let me know. Tell me. Because I want to provide that way for my clients. This is the best, fastest, most efficient, and cost-effective way to build an investment portfolio, to invest at all, especially if you need the guidance of professional help. Maybe I'm biased. But anyway, so that's how we're going to get it done. This helps you fight through, helps you achieve the diversification, fight through volatility, and it's a solution to the problem that most Americans have. So anyway, also I should have mentioned there's no investment minimums with that dollar cost averaging amount. I said 200, but I have clients that are one just turned 18, and so you could do as minimum as small as $25. You could do smaller than that. You can invest less than that per month, but it is not efficient for you to do any less than $25. You can't do $25 a month, then I got another conversation for you. Some other things that you should be doing until you have $25 available. So if you got $25 a month available, then you should open an account and get started. Hopefully you got more than that. But ideally, it should be at least 200, 2,000, 20,000. Everybody's different. It depends on what your goals are and where you're starting from. You know, if you have the money, whatever you have to invest it. You know, parking money in a savings account is losing money. You are losing value, I should say. Anyway, so I'll leave it there. And if you want to talk about these concepts more and figure out how they can help you in your personal situation, then I request, I suggest in the description there are several links, but one is to my appointment calendar. You can book a strategy session. Take us about 30 to 45 minutes. You know, I'll ask you plenty of questions and to try to diagnose your financial issue, and I'll offer a solution if we have one. Tell you how we work with clients, and if we work together, then we'll get busy. And so anyway, thanks for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope to talk to you soon. Holla back.